Hi guys, in today's video we're going to talk about content silos and how to structure your website and ultimately make everything better. So if we jump in, this is the sort of thing we're going to be ultimately producing, and this is how we would have a movie site. So I'm going to do this all in Paint because I love some high level stuff that you'll all be super impressed with. So if we continue with the theme of our last video, we were researching how to write good content, or how to prioritize content for a website about dogs. In this particular instance, we're gonna just use a regular dog, and we'll think about how we're going to structure it. So the other thing was for prioritizing, but you want that authority first. So to build that authority, you need to show Google that you understand everything there is to do with dogs. I would actually suggest that you niche down slightly more tight than this. So I think in the example, we did the British Bulldog. So let me just make this fit in perfectly. Imagine these are the exact same size text. It's fine. And what aspects are there when it comes to the Bulldog? Like what different categories of entities relate to it? So one thing you can do is you can cheat, and you can just go to Google and say British Bulldog, a website, and then okay, the British Bulldog was also a wrestler. In this instance, we're talking about dogs. This is a club, so maybe that's not what we want. This is... so what you can see here is their categories are news, testimonials, female bulldogs, puppies, stud dogs, breed dogs, and links. So they're obviously selling dogs. But if we were to try and find another one, I don't know if we're going to be able to find one. I think most of these are all about breeders. But here's another good example. So they've got health, education, judging, breed standards. So again, this is like more of a judge thing. In our example, we're not going to do that because we're going to talk about just the subject of bulldogs. But one thing we have learned is one of the entities that seems to be particularly common is shows. So dog shows, competitions. That's the word I'm looking for. So that's one of our main hubs. Then we might also have colors, breeds, type of dogs, like training. Let's go for how you can train them. Let's also go for personalities, maybe, and care. So your categories are going to depend massively on your particular thing. So in the example I showed you earlier, there was movies, and for movies you have genres, you have actors, you have directors. You think about the main categories of things that might live under this. I try and do around 6 because of psychology. Humans get overwhelmed to be on 6, but 6 is the good point. I don't know much about British Bulldogs, I'll be completely frank, but I'm sure you know loads about your niche, else you wouldn't be making a website about it. And from here, once you've got this, you now need to break this down into more and more things. So from competitions, I don't actually know the British Bulldog competitions, but let's presume we've got Mega Comp 2020 or whatever it might be, 2023. 2020 just sounds cooler, doesn't it? But you've got the Mega Comp, you've also got Turbo Comp, and then you've got the Winners Comp, and probably the Purple Cup, because that's the most important one. Don't forget the Purple Cup. Then for training, you could even have subcategories from this, but we'll just go for body training. Do you train dogs for going to the toilet? Aggression training, leash training. Well, I don't own a dog, so this is slightly harder for me, but training them where to put. No, that's already potty training them where to poo. But walking training, so that's the leash training. You get the idea. I'm sure you know how to do it. Let's just do barking training. The protection training, let's have that. That sounds cool, doesn't it? And then personalities, all the different personalities, you might have an aggressive dog, you might have a barker, you might have a quiet, you might have a timid, you might have a superhero dog, I don't know. It's all depends on what your particular category is. And for care, we might have like diets, how to groom them, how often can you wash, or in fact, I won't do this as how to. We'll put this as grooming actually. What else do you need to care for dog? You can like, do I do washing? Yeah, let's do for washing. Let's just do straight up products. And from here, you can then go one further and you can start thinking about, and I'll do this quite small, but it doesn't matter, you don't have to read this too much. When we build out our articles, in fact, we'll stick at this top level for 2 seconds. So we've got these core categories. We've got care, we've got competitions. So when we make a new website, we'll make these as categories straight off, and then we'll probably start making these pages under it, or these posts. In fact, these probably be pages, and these are our proof that we understand everything there is to do with the British Bulldog. But we're going to make this whole section first. We're going to really go in and we're going to make sure we've written the best article possible on aggressive dogs, on barkers, on quiet, on timid, on superhero. We're also going to have a page at this level that talks about what personalities of British Bulldog you can have, and then from there we're going to have links to each of these sub pages. And then probably on these pages, we're going to have, when you've got a timid dog, it's quite different to having an aggressive dog. So you have a link going across there. When you have an aggressive dog, it can quite often be a barker. When you have a barker, it's very opposite of quiet. When you've got a quiet dog, it's different to aggressive. Like, all of these pages are going to link between them quite a lot. And they're all going to live under this personalities thing. And it's really going to show that for personalities, all of these things are related. And you're going to do the same thing for care. So you'll write these ones next, and these will all interlink a lot. However, and obviously the top level care article, however, additionally on top of that, every so often you can throw in if you've got a quiet dog, or if you've got an aggressive dog maybe, you might want to consider grooming it more, because when you groom it, it will calm it down and get it used to touch, and it'll make it understand people. And I'm not saying we do loads of links like we've done previously. We just do the odd link between categories. As we build out our different sections, build the odd link here, we build the odd link here, and the odd link here. Like, they don't need to go in a circle. Like, maybe there's 2 links, but there's only like 1 link potential per article that are going out to cross entity category. However, within the categories, we're going to have loads and loads of these little internal links between them, because they're all related. And once we've done that, and again, build up this section, like, take it in turns. Like, don't just start building everywhere and everywhere. Build them up one at a time to prove that you are the authority in British Bulldog personalities. Then you are the authority in British Bulldog care. Then you're the authority in British Bulldog competitions. Then you are the authority in British Bulldog training. Don't forget, go back to these old articles, update it to now have the link to the new thing that you've just built. Don't go crazy. But then, once you've built up these 4 or 6 in the instance that we said, once you've built up those, you're going to become the authority in the British Bulldog. Brilliant. Now that we've done that, that's when we can start going after those more profitable keywords. So right now, we've proven that we're the place to go to. If someone asks you, like, do you know anyone that's good at this? You don't refer them to someone that's mentioned something in passing once. You refer them to the guy or the gal that has talked about British Bulldogs all their life, and they've told you everything under the sun about it. Google does the same thing. It doesn't recommend you, oh, this guy once wrote an article on British Bulldog diets. Cool that they did it, but if there's some other website that wrote all of the content possible on diets, grooming, washing, products, you're going to say, oh, you need British Bulldog care help. This is the website you need to go to. And then as you build out more and more content, you're like, anything British Bulldog. And if you were to roll out a new article that was about something I can't think about, but like dog toys, for example, you're then going to go, although it's only new, this website knows everything there is to know about British Bulldogs. So actually for toys, I'm going to send him here. Like, that new article's probably gold because this guy knows what he's talking about. And it's the same way that Google does it. Yeah, so you can see I've written toys there. Sorry, I wasn't sure if my head was in the way. But that's how you do it. That's how you structure the site. That's how you build those internal links. And then from there, you start doing your money pages or the things that are going to perform better. If you see my previous video, I'll probably link it somewhere. That will show you how to prioritize which one's the most profitable articles to go after. Again, using free tools. And then if you really want to excel, you can maybe come out here and you can write separate articles on diets. Let me use a different color to show you. Separate articles on diets. I don't know what diets you might give your dogs, like hypoallergenic, keto, more meat, like raw diets. Again, I don't own a dog, so touch on these brilliantly, but different methods of grooming. So like washing them in the shower, washing them in the river, don't wash them at all, back brushing, using different types of brush. Like, you see how quickly I've rattled them off. And again, I know nothing about owning a British Bulldog, but because I've got these, it's also helped in my mind figure them out. And again, within all of these grooming articles, they can all link up and they can link higher to here. And then probably you might have a big thing on the homepage that says British Bulldogs are super cool. You might link back to the homepage and say, for all your British Bulldog needs, you come here. And from the care article, the top level care article, you might say, make sure they're, or in fact, in the competitions article, you might say, make sure before you put them in a competition, you've taken care of their care. And you don't have to link to these inner, like, grooming articles. You can just link to the top level ones. And the top ones are linking the top ones, the inner ones are linking the inner ones, but the inner ones link up. Most importantly, everything links up. So from grooming, you can refer back to care. Care can refer to grooming, it's fine. And then from this super low one, so the back brushing one, you can link back to grooming. And then from grooming, you link to care. And then ultimately, you're building what is known famously in dodgy selling schemes, a pyramid. So at the top, you're proving that you know the Bulldog. I've lost my red pen. And you're proving that you know about grooming, that you know about, I forget what it is, care. And then under care, you might have a million different types of care. And all of this is basically showing Google that you know that huge breadth of knowledge about British Bulldogs. And whenever you roll out something new down here, it's like, oh, brilliant. Like, that's under the same umbrella. This guy knows what he's talking about. And I'm going to just rank him really high for his new content. So there you go. It's lots of beautiful pictures. As you can see, like, this is the most premium diagram ever. But hopefully it's given you some idea of how you want to build your link structure throughout your website. And then look at my other video, see where to take the next steps to really make the most profitable articles. But this is how you should structure your content for a new site, or structure an existing site, and maybe you want to rejig it a bit. But again, the same way you wouldn't overload a human with like more than 6 choices because they get confused, you don't want to confuse Google with like, here's everything in every category ever. You want, these are my categories, these are my subcategories, these are my subcategories, and you build out like that. And hopefully that should give you some idea where to go from it. And I wish you the best of luck, and I'll see you in the next one.